What we forget when we are raising young Black children is the belief in them is absolutely necessary in building their own spiritual foundation and their own fortitude. And I believe if I didn't have my great-grandmother who deeply believed in me and my siblings, I would not actually be who I am today.
We left the business of addressing structural racism and inequality undone. And some could argue there's good data to support that inequality the gaps have increased since the gains of the civil rights movement. But we've got to get upstream and deal with these structural issues, and that's why we're thrilled to see the leadership of Black Lives Matter calling attention to structural racism and how it impacts our health.
Those are the tragedies, but there is also this other side, which is this amazing movement that is challenging age-old racism and discrimination. And I always tell audiences, what a great time to be alive, to show up for this current historical moment.
Just that 3-letter hashtag is a narrative change assault on the frames that America brings to these issues. And so, because then it leads to, if Black Lives Matter, then what does it mean for schools? If Black Lives Matter, then what does it mean for police reform? If Black Lives Matter, what does it mean for economic development and jobs? And so it leads to a whole host of, so if that's true, what does that mean? I think for those of us, my generation, Patrisse, who are in charge of stuff, it challenges us to rethink our frames and pick different kinds of fights.
We didn't even have this during Hurricane Katrina, right? We didn't have social media in the same ways during Hurricane Katrina. What we had was CNN blasting white people finding food and Black people looting. We didn't have another narrative outside of that could be popularized. And social media has allowed for a new narrative to be popularized.
Highlighting the multi-generational need and exchange is so critical. What I heard from Patrisse, especially with the question around John Lewis and if she could ask him for something, it would be sort of, mentors and training from folks that have seen it and done it before. And maybe it's actually creating more intentional spaces where young people can just ask those questions because they're struggling with it, and oftentimes they're struggling with it on their own.
To me, racism is a sickness. If we're approaching racism and sexism and homophobia as sicknesses, it takes a sort of exorcism. I deeply believe that, and you see it in people's transformation.
For us, funding and supporting Black Lives Matter, the Youth Justice Coalition, Community Coalition, other organizations that are in this room, we know there's something quite holistically health supporting.
Life-giving.
And life-giving.
Yeah. I think that's the conversation that needs to be penetrated into folks, right? This conversation about Black lives mattering is a conversation about all lives mattering.